Welcome to the Concepts of Core Data and Financial Reporting, brought to you by the MOSIS Online Learning. I am Patty Bedborough. I serve as the Associate Executive Director for MOSIS. Previously, I have been a CFO and COO for a few St. Louis area districts.
Hi, I'm Amy St. John, Chief Financial Officer for School of the Osage. I have previously served as a teacher, principal, and district administrator. Our goals for today will include the following: explain the purpose of accountability, define the terms and systems related to district accountability, understand core data, and Missouri Student Information System, or MOSIS, integration.
In addition, we will also discuss the importance of correct MOSIS and core data reporting, the payroll recording in relation to the MOSIS and core data reporting, the annual Secretary of Board report, otherwise known as the ASBR coding, in relation to MOSIS and core data reporting, and the electronic planning and electronic grant system, otherwise known as EPeGS, and the final expenditure reports, affectionately known as FERs.
Let's begin by talking about the systems and purpose associated with core data and finance. First, let's discuss a Student Information System, or SIS. An SIS is a transactional database used to track and report student-level data for attendance, grades, and behavior data. Each SIS has specific Missouri reporting guides to provide users guidance on Missouri state reporting requirements. Some examples of an SIS are Infinite Campus, TeacherEase, and PowerSchool. Next, each district will have financial software. This financial software includes data utilized for the purpose of checking and reporting certification standards for all staff. Each school year, DESE updates and publishes several manuals that you will want to refer to throughout the school year. Let's begin with the Core Data Manual, which provides school district direction on the core data cycle for data submission. To find the Core Data Manual, go to the Administrators tab and then to Data Management. Under Quick Links, you will see the Core Data Manual. You will want to bookmark this site for future use and then download the manual to your desktop for easy access. Continuing on the Data System Management site, click on the DESE Data Acquisition Calendar. This calendar is designed to assist school administrators by identifying approved Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, federal and state reports, and the dates on which they are due. To find the DESE Data Acquisition Calendar, go to the Administrators tab and then to Data Management. Under Quick Links, you will see the DESE Data Acquisition Calendar. This site is a wealth of resources, including detailed information about the file layouts to submit via MOSIS data collection. You will find the file layout for each of the reporting cycles, and you'll be able to click on the business rules to help navigate troubleshooting to resolve errors. In addition, there are Excel templates available for a blank file layout. To find the MOSIS file layouts, go to the Administrators tab and then Data Management. Under Quick Links, you will see the MOSIS file layouts. Your SIS creates downloadable files to be uploaded to the MOSIS system. A bit further down on the Data Management page is a link to the Missouri School Improvement Version 6, or MSIP 6, Annual Performance Report. This provides school districts direction for data collection as it relates to their Annual Performance Report, or APR. Several of the MOSIS files provide the data used in school accountability. It is important for you to collaborate with the individuals involved with creating, uploading, and certifying these files. To find the MSIP 6 link, go to Administrators tab and then to Data Management. Under Click Links, you will find the MSIP 6 APR link. The Core Data System is a data collection system with integrated screens used to directly enter or update information from school districts or charters, and the data for several core data screens are now populated with MOSIS. For more detailed information, check out the resource page of the Core Data MOSIS Manual. Go to the Administrators tab and then Data Management. Under Quick Links, you will see the Core Data MOSIS Manual. The core data and MOSIS reporting cycles are beginning, middle, and end of year. These files can be downloaded from your SIS. The first file of the school year is August Enrollment and Attendance File. It is based upon the summer school attendance records. This data will come from the attendance records for the approved summer school courses. The October student core is based off the count on the last Wednesday in September. The purpose of the file is to provide accurate count of students enrolled and attending your district. Along with enrollment headcount, the student membership is reported. Membership accounts for full-time equivalent, or FTE, of each student enrolled. These counts are needed for financial calculations. October also reports the educator files. They are the educator core, educator school, course assignment, and student assignment. The purpose of these files are to check for proper certification of teaching assignments. If the teacher of record is not properly certificated, then the attendance funds can be withheld from the school district. Mid-year files include the December 1st special education count, February and April student core files. The February count is based upon the data as of the last Wednesday in January. Similar to the October student core, the purpose of the file is to report the enrollment and membership of each student. End-of-year reporting includes another student core in June, as well as a June attendance MOSIS file. These are used for financial purposes for allocating state funds to school districts. Once a MOSIS file is uploaded, it will display errors and warnings for the file. All errors must be resolved to certify each file. Warnings should be reviewed and resolved as timely as possible. Now Patty is going to talk about the importance of correct MOSIS and core data information as it relates to payroll processing. Patty?
When you hear the terms MOSIS and core data, what do you think? Do you automatically think that this process directly impacts the district's ability to operate and educate students? Do you think about how MOSIS and core data processes directly impact how much funding your district receives from the state? All of the MOSIS and core data cycles previously mentioned by Amy address many different requirements for reporting your school's data. DESE requires the information for many different reasons. DESE must report to the federal government in order to receive funding and resources for districts in Missouri. By reporting your detailed student and district demographic data to DESE, they can use this information to allocate all state and federal funds to schools through other grants as well. You can see here some of the more common data cycles that can be directly tied to your funding. This is why it is important to verify that the information reported in MOSIS and core data is reported correctly, timely, and correlates with your district's payroll information. Most districts have a person that is responsible for MOSIS and core data processing. This varies by district, but it is also important that a district's payroll department works closely with the person responsible for the data reporting. Good communication between all departments is key to coding both your staff and payroll and reporting staff correctly in your data submissions. Payroll processing involves many steps and requirements, and proper payroll coding plays a huge role when it comes to data reporting as well. The information reported in the ASBR at the end of the year must match what actually happened in the year with those staff members. For example, if you paid teachers with special education funds, then you must have those teachers reported correctly in MOSIS. Those teachers must be assigned to the correct program code for special education in MOSIS, and they must be assigned to the correct source code and project code in your payroll coding. As related to this example, your payroll system posts expenditures to your general ledger, and this general ledger information flows into your ASBR as special education expenditures if they are coded properly. This practice also applies to federal programs such as the title programs and other state and federal grants as well. More expenditure coding information will be discussed on a later slide. One resource that can be helpful to work with alongside your data reporting person is EPeGS. You can access EPeGS under the DESE Application Sign-In menu. Go to the DESE home screen, choose DESE Application Sign-In. EPeGS is an option that will show up in the middle of the screen. You should request access to EPeGS so that you can see where the money has been budgeted for federal programs and specific grants that your district receives. You can request view-only access, data entry access, and submission access for several different grant programs in EPeGS. The budget grid lets you know where the money can be spent for each program. When your special education or federal programs coordinator submits these budgets, it's important to make sure that you know which staff members are being paid with which specific funds. It's imperative that their payroll is coded appropriately in order to process payment requests throughout the year and to be able to submit your correct FERs, or your final expenditure reports, at the end of the year. You cannot request funds with a payment request or report expenditures on your FER if there are no monies budgeted in those areas. Your data in MOSIS should also reflect the staff members are reported with the proper program code and building code that aligns correctly with the funds used to pay that person. This slide shows an example of a simple budget grid. From this grid, you can see where the money has been budgeted under each category of function and object codes for federal special education funds. This can be a general guide for payroll purposes. Who is paid from federal funds? What aides or paras are paid with federal special education funds? What building do they work in? What if they work in special education, but they're not paid with federal funds? How do those non-federal payroll expenditures get coded? Is your budget in your financial system in agreement with the budget in EPeGS? Again, this concept applies to many other grants and programs that require your payroll quoting to match what is reported in MOSIS for your staff and their duties. This is also a great time to set up a strategy in communicating all of this information between all coordinators, payroll department, human resources, and the data coordinators. Is this documented during the initial hiring process? Is this revisited each year if someone's duties change? Is this reviewed mid-year to verify if there are any changes in your student demographics or staffing changes? Have the EPeGS budgets been amended? You should consider all parts of the accounting codes used in setting up the codes for payroll. There are parts of the accounting code that's used in payroll that DESE ties to various calculations for your district, as well as verifying your district's data. Other than fund, function, and object, it is important to verify the proper building codes, source codes, and project codes. Errors in payroll coding can lead to recoding of expenditures between your FERs, your ASBR, and data reporting. Go to the DESE Accounting Manual for guidance on the proper coding procedures. On the DESE homepage, you will hover over Administrators, then click on Finance, then click on the Accounting Manual link on the right side of the page, then go to the Financial Accounting Manual and click on the current year's complete manual. For easy access, you may want to download the manual onto your desktop. When you open the manual, you can easily search the topics using Control F or using the bookmark options in the PDF. Referring back to our example of special education payroll expenditure coding, each section of the account code references who is being paid and what duty they may be performing. For example, a certificated elementary special education teacher who is paid from federal funds would be coded as indicated on this slide. Fund 2 references the teacher's fund, where the teacher's salaries are paid from. Function code 1221 indicates that this teacher is working in the special education department. Object code 6111 means that they are working as a certificated teacher. Location code 4020 identifies what building in your district which they work. The source code 4 indicates that they are paid with money received from federal funding. The project code 44100 means that they are paid with special education Part B funding. Referencing back to EPeGS, If you are paying this teacher with federal Part B special education funds, then there should be money budgeted in EPeGS to pay a certificated teachers with the function code of 1221, the object code of 6111 to represent the certificated salaries. If there is no money budgeted for certificated salaries under 1221 in EPeGS, you will not be able to make a payment request to receive your federal funding. You will also have errors in your FER if it does not match the amount of expenditure reported on your ASBR. Another extra resource to consider is the exhibit section of the MOSIS Core Data Manual. Go to the DESE homepage, hover over Administrators, click on the Data Management, click on Core Data MOSIS Manual, then choose the exhibits from the bookmark section of the PDF. You will find the approved MOSIS codes that correspond to the job the employee is actually doing. Here's an example if you're reviewing your payroll data and see that a person is paid with title funds, but they were reported in MOSIS under special education program. This could lead to many corrections when it comes to a payment request during the year and with the FERs at the end of the year. It may be wise to familiarize yourself with some of these MOSIS codes. Once your data has been uploaded and certified in the appropriate MOSIS cycles, there are many reports that become available in the core data collection area. These reports will compile your data into usable reports that can be used to verify the accuracy of your data reported in MOSIS. You can verify attendance and membership information and also print reports that may be requested by your auditor. To access the core data collection, go to DESE's website and log in at the DESE's application sign-in. Go to the core data collection. It should show up on the list of applications on the right. You may need to request access to this if it is not listed there. Once you have clicked on core data collection, you will see a menu of blue links on the left side of the screen. Choose Reports. This will open areas of reports that are available in the middle of the screen. Screen Prints gives you the option to print several different screens from different data cycles that have been either manually entered or populated from MOSIS. Summary reports are available for many different data points. You can choose from several, included attendance, membership, free and reduced lunch counts, and many more. Special Reports is where you can find information about how your staff has been reported in MOSIS. The Special Reports section can be very useful for verifying that all staff have been reported in MOSIS accurately. The information on these reports will be available once your data has been certified in MOSIS. The Staff Assignment Report can be used to verify their teaching assignment, FTE, building, program code, and so much more. If you select this report, you will need to select your school year. You have the options of selecting specific parameters, but it is not necessary to do so. Once you have decided on which parameters are needed, you can hit Run the Report. The Staff Certificate Report can be used to verify past and current teacher certifications for staff reported in MOSIS. This can be helpful to determine if you have staff set up in payroll correctly. You will select your school year, parameters, and run the report. There are so many ways to obtain the data. We hope the information we gave you today was helpful and that we achieved these goals. Explain the purpose of accountability, define the terms and systems related to district accountability, understand core data and MOSIS integration, explain the importance of correct MOSIS core data reporting, explain the importance of correct payroll coding in relation to MOSIS and core data reporting, understand the ASBR recording in relation to the MOSIS and core data reporting, and how to find and use the EPeGS and FERs. If you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to either Amy or myself. Our contact information is contained on this slide. Before we close today, I do want to remind you of all the resources that MOASBO has to offer. We have a help center that has highly qualified veteran administrators and bookkeepers that would be able to assist you with your emerging needs. In addition, MOASBO offers a mentoring program, several conferences throughout the year, webinars on topics of concern for our members, and workshops throughout the year. In addition, we offer certification programs and development programs such as the School Business Specialist, the School Finance and Operations Administrator, the School Operations Academy, and the Leadership Learning Institute. Please contact me or refer to our website for additional information on our upcoming events.
We want you to stay tuned in for our on-demand modules, including introductory module, getting to know your resources. In addition, we have a module on the basics of fund accounting, navigating the DESE website, best practices for accounts payable and payroll, and working with your auditor, which goes into great detail about your ASBR and end-of-year procedures. We have additional on-demand modules in development.
If you have ideas for additional modules, please contact me. Thank you so much for your time today. We hope this module provided knowledge that you will find useful for MOSIS and core data reporting. Until next time, best regards, and remember that MOASBO is the place to go.